Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about how the mini truck is making a comeback. And when I say mini truck, I don't necessarily mean the Ranger, Colorado, the Tacoma, any of those, which those have kind of also made a comeback, but that's a separate video. I'm talking about the regular cab, short bed, half-ton pickup truck. And the reason I say this is because if you look at recent times, a lot of famous YouTubers, Cleese McFarlane, Weston Chaplin, to name a few. Also some not as known guys, but I would consider kind of bigger YouTubers in the truck space specifically, like LMFS Crew, kind of some of those guys. They've really leaned into the regular cab, short bed, like lowered street truck scene, or even lifted off-road truck with the Mini TRX, the Mini Raptor R that they've made, as well as the lowered street trucks that Cletus and Weston have made before. So anyway, point is, when big YouTubers like that, or anybody that's, big in the automotive space, are leaning into those types of builds, manufacturers watch this stuff, right? They're not stupid. And in the same way that Harley seems to magically come out with motorcycles that have a lot of the design elements of what the aftermarket's doing, a year or two before, right? Because they look at the market and say, oh, we could dabble a little bit of whatever the aftermarket's doing into this bike. They're not stupid. They do that. They want to give the customer what they want so they can sell more of their product. It's in their best interest. Because we see people making these, what I'll call just higher trim level regular cab trucks, starting off with a lower trim level and kind of upgrading it, suspension and interiors and all this kind of thing. We might see that the manufacturers actually start to do some of this stuff. Now, do I think that they're going to make a mini Raptor or a mini TRX type vehicle? No. I mean, a mini RHO now, I guess it would be. I don't think so. And definitely not Chevy, unfortunately, because Chevy's just not even in the performance truck game for the most part. Actually, there's a TRX. That's pretty funny that we're talking about it. Anyway, so they won't do it. But, do I think there's a chance that Ford probably might make a regular cab, short bed truck, at least with higher trim interiors and maybe like a sport package? I don't see why not. This isn't unfounded. Chevy made the SS in the mid-2000s. Now it was I'm going to be honest, it was a bit of a half-baked attempt at a sport truck, as much as I do like the Chevy SS, Silverado SSs. But Ford obviously had the Lightning, the original Lightning. Ram had a sport trim on their Rams. So there's some pedigree here to suggest that these things could potentially happen. And if they did, I think the manufacturers would need to just simply make them more unique from a regular truck. So if you take a regular cab short bed XL 50 10-speed F-150, right? Yeah, you can go aftermarket and turn that into a cool lowered street truck. Well, what if Ford, right from the factory, did 2-inch lowering kit, better sway bars, maybe even like an all-wheel drive transfer case, or a 2-wheel drive selectable to all-wheel drive instead of like a locked-in 4x4, because for a lowered street truck that would be better than having regular, old school 4x4. And then maybe you do like paddles, right? So you can shift the 10-speed a little faster. Maybe give it a different tune. Just firm up all the normal mode, even firm up normal mode a little bit and kind of do that sort of thing. You could really, there's a lot of ways they could go with it. Oh, also, by the way, SRT10, talking about sport trucks, that's a real sport truck. Anyway, you could do stuff like that. And then you could take it so far as to put the Raptor R motor in the regular cab short bed and then give yourself a real hot-rodded sport truck, just a Mustang with a pickup. I mean, that's what a lot of people are going for when they make these things. They're essentially just trying to make a Mustang with a pickup or a Camaro with a pickup, kind of thing. So I think there'd be a market for it. Now, would they sell tons and tons of them? Well, no, obviously not. But here's the reality of it. Anybody who's in the market to buy a Mustang or a Camaro or a Challenger isn't really looking for the most amount of function on their vehicle, and they still sell quite a few of those. And I do think there's plenty of people that would love to have a truck bed to do truck things with, like mild truck things, but would like a 2-door sports car. And you kind of make like a modern version of an El Camino type vehicle where you just get the capability of a truck with kind of the more package of a car And I actually think there'd be a market for it. Can Ford and Chevy and whoever justify making 5,000 trucks a year, and that's all of this specific configuration? Maybe not. But if nothing else, it really wouldn't cause them that much pain, I don't think, to just allow you to order. Even if dealerships didn't decide to order them, if I could go on the configurator and actually order a LTZ trim regular cab truck, or a with the Raptor R motor, I mean, how hard is that to do, right? You just take the engine you're already making for a Raptor R, you send it to the factory where they make the regular cabs, and you stick it in a regular cab. Like, this isn't rocket science. Yes, it will add a little bit of manufacturing cost and logistics and paperwork and different SKUs on the bill of materials for that specific vehicle, but I'm sure you could just charge enough of a premium that it's worth it to you to do, and give people the option. Maybe the Raptor R costs, let's say real cost of Ford is $7,000 extra, whatever, to make a mini Raptor R. Put that motor in a regular cab. Then just charge them $8,000, whatever. If somebody wants to pay it, they'll pay it, right? Like I've never understood. This kind of goes back to the whole discussion of the fact that manufacturers way back in the day, you used to pick your options off a chart, and you could get specific options, and you'd have custom configuration of the vehicle. Basically, there weren't packages like there are today, more or less anyway. I think there were a little bit of packaging of certain things, but I think we need more a la carte choices for upfitting a vehicle from the factory, or outfitting a vehicle from the factory, not just, you get this one package choice or these couple package choices and that's it, and you're not allowed to add anything more on this specific model. I'd even make the same argument for an extended cab. This truck I'm in right now, this 05 Silverado, is an extended cab LT3, which is what they called them back then, essentially an LTZ for lack of a better term, but it's got power everything, it's got leather seats, the only thing it was missing was navigation and a sunroof, but they were options you could have gotten on an extended cab. Whereas nowadays, a lot of those options, like if you wanted to get an LTZ or a higher trim or a high country, I don't even think you can get a high country in an extended cab, as an example. So they don't even let you get the most features unless you get a specific cab configuration, and that's mildly annoying because you might not want the full-size cab. So I guess that's just my point, is it'd be cool if they gave you a little more flexibility with some of this stuff and allowed you to really tailor that truck, which is a pretty customizable vehicle in and of itself with the bed and cab options that are available, but let you really dial it into what you as the individual want. And along those lines, maybe we shouldn't be making the crew cab 6.5 a bed half ton an absolute unobtainium vehicle that essentially doesn't, for all intents and purposes, exist, again, unless you order it. And then same thing with the max tow package. It'd be nice if they were actually available to go to a dealer and buy those more often, because I think a lot of people would be well served with a max tow crew cab 6.5 foot bed, as opposed to a 5.5 foot bed or an extended cab 6.5 foot bed and no max tow. Anyway, I'm getting way off on a tangent. As always, guys, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.